Yo, welcome everybody. Mike Ice, I want to wish everybody out there a Happy New Year's. Thanks for tuning in. I have a special guest today from the world famous New York City Breakers. Who is the New York City Breakers? Let me think. One of the first official B-boy crews to bring power moves to commercial level in my book. And we're going to find out if that's true. Happy New Year's, brother.
What's up? What's up? Happy New Year.
Everybody's tuning in right now.
Okay, I hear you.
I got you. I
Okay.
wanted to show you. I wanted to show you this little piece right here.
Oh shit, that's old school right there, brother. That's nice. That's what I'm talking about.
I got this in downtown Los Angeles. They customize it.
Oh shit, the name change
Hmm.
back in the day. I had a big
The
one.
name change.
That's right.
I remember
The nameplate.
the first
Yeah.
time I seen it. Yeah, the first time I seen the name change is when Mr. Wave had it.
Okay. Look back. I think
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, in Beach Street, when I'm walking, you can see mine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay, okay. You can see
Yeah, I
mine.
remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. In Beach Street when I'm walking next to Robert Taylor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool, man. So yeah, Noel, like let's introduce everybody, to who you are again, and this so everybody can get an understanding like who I have today.
Okay. This is Kid Nice, world famous New York City Breakers, leader of the New York City Breakers.
Nice. But before that, it was called
Floor Masters.
the Floor Masters. Yeah,
That's right. Founder
and
of the Floor Masters.
founder of the Floor
Yep.
Masters.
Yep. And then we converted over to the New York City Breakers. So I'm the founder of the New York City Breakers also. So yeah.
Okay. No, somebody just tried to call me right now when I was talking to you.
Okay. Okay.
It's okay. So, yeah, Noel, let's talk about it. First of all, how was your New Year's?
My New Year was good. It was pretty good. I had to drive my wife to work. She worked last night, so I kind of stayed with her, hung out with all the people, next door at the Edge City Grill. So they were having a little get together party. So it was good. How was
Yeah,
yours?
mine was pretty good. I kind of just stayed local, stayed at the house. They had like some fireworks going on and stuff, but pretty much I was just playing it safe.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do, man. Staying home is, I mean, you can't beat that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Staying home is like, if I could stay home and go and sleep, I would have slept right through it. No, no big day. It's just another day.
Yeah, that's
To
true.
me.
So yeah, Noel, let's jump into like where can we start again? Like
Um,
um
well, of course, when I started b-boying back in the 70s, of course, we'll just do a little quick
okay.
recap with Gago John, who taught me how to do the leg work. And you know, once he taught me how to do leg work, I mean, that was it, man. It was like instant love. Like I just wanted to be the best.
Mhm.
And then from then on, of course, I'm gonna jump, you know, way ahead to where I started recruiting, breakers and being, my best friend Chino. We was always together. We lived next door to each other, so we started the crew, the Floor Masters, and we recruited Tony and Pexter, of course, and a lot of the guys from his neighborhood were in the Floor Masters, were in my crew.
Oh
Then I had
man,
Matthew.
okay.
Yeah, then I had Matthew. So the main guys was mainly me, Chino, Matthew, and Pex. You know?
Mm.
Yeah. So that was like the top guys, and everybody else came below us.
Right. And what year was that?
Man, I'm gonna say that that was somewhere in the mid '70s, about '78 maybe, somewhere around there.
78. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I was out there before '78, but that's when we got it together, and I mean, going to the
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I can remember, breakdancing back in the mid '70s, we were going to like we would go to jams, high
Hmm.
school jams, Kennedy jams. That must have happened in the late '70s. The high school jams when hip hop started to get a little popular.
Right.
Um, but I'm gonna say the underground jams in the abandoned buildings where like Charlie
Mm.
Chase. see, see, I go way back, and it's funny because back then, the Breakers. It's funny, like it was almost like the Fast and the Furious, movie.
Hmm.
Back then we used to sit there and wait to who shows up till we could battle them. And some guy be like, "Yo, I heard Crazy Legs is coming to battle. Like he's coming." And so we were, "Oh, you get in line because I got him first." You know,
Woo.
that's back in the day. But again, I mean, Crazy Legs was, I think he's like a few years younger than I am, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, so sometimes he would show up to some of those jams or the parties, or sometimes he didn't. But as far as my understanding, he moved out of the Bronx and went to Manhattan. So he was living in Manhattan.
Oh, was this during like the Beach Street era or before?
Oh, way before Beat Street era.
Okay.
Yeah. He moved from the Bronx to Manhattan, and I think he was running down there. They actually had a park. They called it the Rocksteady Park. Well, they
Oh,
named it
that's how
themselves.
it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, down in Manhattan on like
On
207 and
Amsterdam Avenue.
yeah, like 207 and like Dykeman, somewhere around there.
Right.
I'm not,
Right.
sure, but it was somewhere in that area.
I heard it was
Yeah,
called Amsterdam Avenue.
yeah. Um, it could have been Amsterdam. It was in that area, that whole area,
Yeah.
down in Manhattan. And it's funny because they used to rock on the in the park. It had a nice smooth surface.
Mhm.
It was like a basketball court, so they used to break there, rock steady. But that's when I think when he moved to Manhattan by himself. I'm not too sure. That's when he got with Kenny and a few of the guys and
Yes.
Frosty Freeze, you and
Mhm.
at the
And
time
those.
and Doze and yeah, and then of course Buck Fong Kuruwaki. They were from like Katrona Avenue, That's from
Oh,
his
yep. I
from
heard about that.
yeah. That was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's where Crazy Legs either used to hang out or live.
Mhm.
So yeah, but we used to go down there looking for them. Like, oh, yo, where are these dudes? We used to go to their park. When
Oh, really?
we were the floor masters. Yeah. We
Wow.
used to go down there. It's funny though, cause we had met. I remember after the Negril battle,
Mhm.
um, and they were still having the thing over in the park. They used to have um, they will hang out in Spin Easy in the roller rink over in Dykeman area, in the same, not too far, like right around the corner from the park. I'm gonna say,
Right.
and they used to break in Spin Easy, and we actually went down there, and we used to hang out with them here and there, and kind
Mm.
of like you know they used to go down. We will go down like we'd be like almost starting something. Like, yeah, come on,
Right.
you know.
Is that kind of what happened with that black and white footage where they showed you guys going out and then Rocksteady would go out too?
Yes. Well, that black and white footage was that was Negril.
McGrill.
That was Negril. That was the Negril battle. And you know what?
Mhm.
To go back to when I spoke about that battle, it was actually Crazy Legs sent a message, because now it's coming to me. Crazy Legs invited us to battle them at the Negril, but he sent the message through Mr. Freeze, because Mr. Freeze used to know us. So he was like, the little messenger came over to our neighborhood and it was like, hey man, what's up, man? Yo, Rocksteady wants to battle you guys in the Club Negril. And we were like, yeah, it was funny. We all looked at each other like, oh shit, it's on, you know?
Right.
You know? So, you know, and, well, we had battled, let me see. We battled Dynamic first.
Mm.
Yeah, in USA. You know, on That's Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So we battled them first. And then we battled Rocksteady in the Negril. But they had more members of, you know, in the Negril, they had a lot more members than they did when they were, you know, Beach Street, when they were on Beach Street, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot more members. They had Little Crazy Legs, Doze. No, actually, Doze wasn't even down with them. Kippy D. Kippy D. Right. Take One. Little Crazy Legs. Kenny. Right? Frosty Freeze. Crazy Legs. So they had about a good 8 to 10 members back then, and we had a squad, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we had like, I had like 25 guys in my crew. So, yeah, I had 20, like, yeah, we were big. Floor Masters were big, man. We were big. We were big back then, you know.
Was there a guy back in the day? His name was Flex. Was he a part of the Floor Masters though too?
Absolutely, Flex.
Yeah,
he's out there. He's out there in Germany right now.
Yeah, he had moved to Miami for a little bit.
That's correct. Well, Flex, I used to date his sister.
Oh.
And he used to live on 207 in Dyckman. Down in Manhattan. And actually, Flex, we met Flex. We went down to a Kennedy Jam, you know, the high school. It was high school, you know, John F. Kennedy High School, and they had a jam. So Mr. Freeze was there, Flex. If I'm not mistaken, two of the Dynamic. Actually, that's right. Two of the Dynamic rockers. It was Wavy Legs and Kid Freeze. They were there. So we formed a circle, and we were all going off and shit like that. And it was funny because Wavy Legs was just standing there. He wasn't doing nothing. I guess he didn't feel like he was good enough to go down. But at the end of the jam, I saw Wavy Legs from the Dynamic Rockers. He was going off. He was like going off, and I was like, "Oh shit, yo, why didn't you go down?" Like, yo, you know.
Yeah.
So the guys that went down that day was me, Mr. Freeze, Chino. Of course, it was always me and Chino, you know, and Flex. So he had like this awesome backspin, Flex.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Like he'll go down and he'll do like a neck move into a backspin, and he'll be spinning, and then he'll stop himself, and then he'll do like this little helicopter things and wind with his legs, and then take off like a top again.
Oh,
that was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he that was that day. I was like, yo, listen, man, I started up a group. It's called the Floor Masters. And Flex was like, yeah, man, yeah, hell yeah. And anybody but Rocksteady, you know? Yep. So he got down with us. And actually, it's funny because Mr. Freeze was down with Rocksteady, but he used to hang out with us a lot. Like
oh, really?
Yeah, he used to hang out with us a lot because he didn't live too far from us. You know, he lived in the Bronx on Gouverneur, somewhere around in that area, and he used to hang out with us. So that's how the message from Crazy Legs got through to us, you know, to battle at the Negril. through Mr.
Mhm.
Freeze. Mr. Freeze used to hang out with us, and him and Chino, they all used to do graffiti together. So,
Yeah.
and actually, and they went to the same school, Kennedy High
Mhm.
School.
I heard
So
about that.
Crazy Legs went to Kennedy High School also. So I didn't go to that school, but because I was trying to play football, at the time also.
Mhm.
So yeah. So them guys went to Kennedy High School. So, and Chino used to come back and be like, "Yo, there's a jam, bro. There's our chance to smoke these guys." It's funny because we were like hungry, man. When it came to like showing your skills and breaking, like we just didn't want to be beat, man. We were hungry, man. We just wanted to go out and like fucking hungry wolves, destroy
Yeah.
everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yep. And then there was a lot of times where we traveled out to Queens and hung out with Dynamic once in a while,
Mhm.
and practiced with them guys. But it was funny because we got along with Dynamic better than we did with Rocksteady. We didn't I don't know, there was like a little tension between us and Rocksteady all the time,
Yeah.
you know? And then, when finally Beat Street came around, that was, that was it. That was the, the okay, dude, it's going to happen. It's going to be on the spotlight. We're all going to be.
So how did you guys get both choose just for that particular scene, knowing that there's hundreds of other crews in New York City?
Well, at the time when that whole thing started, all the hundreds of crews came way after us,
Okay.
way after Pete, way after, when they saw the New York City Breakers, a lot of guys started breaking, but they weren't good. Nobody was good. Yeah, there was a lot of other crews. Dynamic had split up already, so
Mm.
it was Dynamic Rockers and then Dynamic Breakers. So there was two different,
Yeah.
dynamics. So supposedly, they had an audition in at the Roxy,
Mhm.
and Dynamic supposedly, um, they were. This is what Crazy Legs and other people said, but it wasn't true because we already were. We didn't even have to audition. We were already in. New York City Breakers was in. We were the best breakers in the Bronx. So Harry Belafonte, they approached us and asked us if we would like to be in that film, Beach
Mm.
Street,
Did
and
it?
we have, yeah.
Did they
So
tell
we already had the
you guys?
contract.
I'm sorry, but did they tell you guys to pay too when you guys were offered?
What was that?
Did
Yeah,
they tell you guys to pay?
yeah. We were getting paid, so we had a contract already with Beach Street.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we didn't. There was an audition in, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 50. I forgot what it was. 57th Street in a big tall building. And
Mhm.
all we had to do was walk in, sign, and leave. We didn't even audition.
That's
We already had the
crazy.
part. So they needed a second crew, which, if I'm not mistaken, it was Rocksteady. But Dynamic, see, they were battling. They had an audition at the Roxy, um,
Mhm.
and it wasn't an audition so they can win the whole shit and be one of the main characters in the movie. It was on an audition to be in the movie. You get it?
Okay.
So, anyways, so that's where a lot of people made the mistake, or they were talking about it, and even Crazy Legs talked about it and said that Dynamic was supposed to get the part, and something happened with their manager and they didn't get the part. So um, they gave Rocksteady's part to us, and then they gave Dynamics part to Rocksteady. That's all bullshit because we were the main
Oh,
guys from the beginning.
at that time, little Alex wasn't a part of
No,
you
he
guys, though, right?
was not. He came afterward. He didn't even know how to break at the time.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Okay, yeah. He wasn't even. He came way after that.
Mhm.
So um, so we had the part, and uh, Crazy Legs and Rocksteady had the part, and then there
Mhm.
was another thing he said that wasn't true. That, and I think I mentioned this in our first interview, that they wanted to do routines, and that
Mhm.
New York City Breakers said that we didn't have routines, that we had routines. But what was the point? The movie was based on hip hop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The elements of hip hop, graffiti, of course, the breaking and the DJing and the rapping. And so, what would have been, I mean, if we did routines, people would have saw just us, everybody doing routines. They wouldn't have
Mhm.
actually saw it like a real battle scene, because to us, that was a real battle scene. You know what I'm saying? The individual going down individually, that's battling. So doing
Right.
routines, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you're gonna do routines, then you should have done the dance, like get that movie, So You Think You Can Dance, where everybody gets in together and
Mhm.
does the same routine. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I don't consider that, you know, even though they did some breaking, but I don't consider it breaking, and the original, the way it happened on the streets of New York.
I got you. Woo, that's deep. So why did he get the last part when he took off his shoes?
Well, it's funny because Crazy Legs is a very smart guy, and he turned around. He knew that they couldn't fuck with us. So on film, he wanted to make it look like they beat us in the movie. So
Okay.
I saw him huddling up with them. They already had it planned, and he told them, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go down last," and and that wasn't even. He even said it himself that that wasn't even a part of his move. He had to think of something, so he took his shoes off, and he did the freeze, and then he said when he does that, everybody rush in and start throwing your hands in the air like we won. I mean, come on, it clear as day. You can see in the movie that they had no chance against New York City Breakers. And
Yeah.
and like I said, I wish that they showed, because the battle wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, that battle was what, 10, 15 minutes long, if I'm not,
About 15
you know,
minutes. Yeah.
yeah, somewhere around there. But the battle, it was actually like an hour.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and we did some crazy. We were doing bro, moves bro, we were doing air tracks, all sorts of shit that that guys they didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Rocksteady couldn't even touch us, so they had to edit all those things out and keep it, limited to look basically almost even.
Mhm.
But we all did some, like I did some crazy, not my leg windmills. That wasn't nothing compared to what I did in that, on film in that movie. And if they had showed it, everybody would have been like, "Holy shit, New York City Breakers are really the truth."
So when you guys went to the movie theater and you seen it with your own eyes, like how did you feel when you seen it on the big screen?
Oh man, we were kids, man. We were happy that we were even on the screen. I mean, they didn't show our best moves, but still, I mean, clear as day, we were all laughing because they were there, and we were all like, "Dude, bro, we smoked them. We smoked them. They couldn't touch us, man."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And and
Mhm.
and going back to that, where Crazy Legs again, here we go again with him saying something stupid. Um, he said that they battled us in a club. I think, you know who was there? It's funny.
Who?
Curtis Blow was there, and he knew. He knew
Ooh.
New York City Breakers. He was like, they're crazy. They're out of their minds. They
Mhm.
added one more breaker, Spanky, and he wasn't even that good.
Mm.
And he said that squad. See, he contradicts himself a lot, because he said that squad, the squad, um, um, the Rocksteady squad he had there
Right.
was their routine squad.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said. But it's funny that their routine squad, if they had a breaking squad, a real original, a good breaking squad, like they did back in the old days before he was handed the name, in every picture and every film that they did, it was all the same guys and girl. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
So if they had a different squad, then why didn't they you know, exploited them guys? So how can he say that they beat us in a club, first class was the club, and they added one more breaker, and he said that they beat the New York City Breakers, that they kicked our ass, and I was like, dude, there's no way in hell. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I got to give it to Crazy Legs because he had this thing where a lot of people liked him back then. You know?
Yeah.
A lot of people liked him, and he had his people following him. A lot of his people from the neighborhoods, and he would have them all screaming for Rocksteady, even though they weren't as good as we were. You know? Yeah. So he had that gift, you know, where he could do stuff like that. I mean, we had our people too, but it's funny how we were the ones always traveling to everywhere they went. Had they traveled to where we were, not only they would have got smoked, but we would have had our crowd, of course, applauding us. So it's funny how a lot of people talk about stuff like that, or he does, or you know, I never heard of any other member of Rocksteady saying that they beat us. Like Kenny never says he beat us. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I never heard that before.
Yep, the only person that I've heard, you know, saying that they beat us or blew, you know, was Crazy Legs. But I mean, it would have been on film. They would have saw it. Anybody would have saw it. Sure, they still got a lot of people who still say that they beat us, so they like Rocksteady over the New York City Breakers. You know, I mean, you're gonna have your fans and you know and your followers. I mean, again, we were the only crews out there, you know, because Rocksteady, like I said, Dynamic had fell apart, you know. So you know, they split up, and you know, then I haven't seen or heard from Victor in a while. Like after that, once we started after Beach Street, we started traveling like crazy. Like there wasn't really no battling out in the streets anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was done on film. Like we would perform. We were performers after that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. We became performers. I mean, we were street dancers to performing, and you know, the inauguration, going out to Paris, opening up for Madonna, all sorts of stuff like that. You know.
Right. So the next question I would like to ask you, getting into the Olympics is coming up in 2024. Is it safe to say that the New York City Breakers were possibly like the first crew that could be involved with the Olympics?
Oh, absolutely. We should be. You know, we mentioned it on film. Action was one of the first guys that said on, I believe it was That's Incredible. And he had said, he said, hey, we would like to battle the Olympic team in the floor exercise, you know?
Yeah.
And then he said, so we'll see you in LA, you know? Like, hey, you know, in the Olympics, you know? But that never got to happen. You know, I mean,
why is that, you think?
Everybody back then, not us, because that was our dance. You know what I'm saying? So our dance came from the streets, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because we brought it out and brought it to the world, and then people started saying that it's becoming a fad, that it's going to become a fad, that it wasn't going to
Yeah.
stick. That's where the role where London and Speedy and the second generation, kept it going. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody was saying it was a fad, it was going to be a fad, and that it was going to go away, and it was never going to make it to the Olympics.
That's what happened. Okay.
That's exactly what happened. And of course, at the time where, Matthew Glidemaster, when he passed away, like, it's like, how your body, all your organs, the way they were performed, they all need each other to
Mm-hmm.
make your body better. We lost
Mm-hmm.
a very important part of our one of our organs was Matthew. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
He was vital to us because, he was young and hungry. And even if we say, oh, let's all quit dancing, he would be like, we're going to keep going. He just wanted to, Matthew was like one of the ones that,
Yeah.
like, we were unstoppable,
Mm.
So, I had a good crew. I had good guys, and we all, like I said, we all made each other, better.
Mm-hmm.
The New York City Breakers, we all
Yeah.
made each other breakers, if one guy would say something, we all, or, we would all say, okay, we're going to try that.
Mm-hmm.
If we had an idea, we would try the idea. And then, if Chino had an idea or I came up with my ideas, they always followed. So,
Right.
yeah.
I think those track suits are like probably could have been relevant today though. Like if you guys would have never brought them out and they say like they need like an Olympic team and everybody had the same track suits on, I could see that now because it was
Well,
super futuristic for the times.
right. You're talking about the tight suits that we
Yeah, the
had
tight.
on. Okay,
Yeah, the tight.
that's funny because those suits, and I think I mentioned it in the first interview, was we were out in LA and we went to a bicycle shop store,
Mm-hmm.
like almost like a outdoor store,
Mm-hmm.
in LA. And me and Chino saw the suits and we like, yo, let's try these on. I think bet these will make us spin faster. So we tried them out. We
Oh.
actually paid for the suits. We bought the suits. And then all the other guys said, oh shit, you guys bought those? We're buying them too. So before we even had the logo on, and it's funny because in LA we performed and we had the suits on.
Yeah, I remember.
Yep. We had the black ones on.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a logo yet.
And you know what's crazy though? After you guys did that performance, there was a crew. It was here in LA. They wore the suits too, and they were like another version of you guys. Though they were copying everything, like the Superman. Yeah, it
That's
was crazy.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome because a lot of people wanted to be like us. They wanted to. I mean, if you see something, you're gonna want to do the same thing and be like that. The first time you saw that move, you know what I'm saying, or the crew that did it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of people wanted to be like us. You know what I'm saying, and hopefully, they would. Other people will see them and just be like, oh wow, and you know what I'm saying, and they'll be, blow their mind out.
Yeah. So what is your take on the Olympics though? Like what would you say that you would like to see involved, when it comes to Olympics? Because I don't know if it's gonna be like just straight up like a power showcase, or is it gonna be like a straight up just like battle where there's burns?
I'm gonna say, it should be. Well, they are going to battle. That's one. I mean, you got other countries that are going to be there going against, it's going to be USA and, of course, other countries. It is going to be a battle. I would like to see it. It should be done old school because of the original way it started in, in New York, in the Bronx. With the up rocking, the leg, the of course the free, the bottom rock, and then the power moves. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see them go into power moves right
power
away.
to power. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't want to see that because, I mean, it's style and finesse also. You know what I'm saying? I want to see, the way it was originally started. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would love to see. I mean, if it's gonna be power move to, again, somebody's gonna go down and do power moves, and somebody else is gonna go doing power. Yeah, it's really gonna take away from its original form. That's one. Two, it's gonna look more of like a gymnastics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the gymnasts, they do power moves. You know what I'm saying? They do flares, right? The gymnasts, they do flares, they do handstands. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would love to see them do more footwork.
Okay.
That's
amazing though. Yep.
I would like to see them. Then the people will see like, hey man, whoa, this is different. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I got something I want to add to that. Okay, back in the day, I had this VHS, you know, and everything was fuzzy. It was a bad quality. And the guy comes out, and the gentleman said, like, this guy is amazing. He goes by the name of Kurt Thomas, and he thought he's going to do floor exercise.
That's correct.
And he said, this is a back spring. This is a back spring handstand. And he goes, Jim, watch this. He's like, it's called the Thomas flares. And he's all, the Thomas flares. And he started doing the flares. And on the date, it said it's 1977. It was the Olympics in 1977 that he introduced the Thomas flares.
Yep. And you want to hear something funny? 1977, because if I'm not mistaken, Kurt Thomas, all right, his flares was insane. Okay. In 1977, we were breaking. We were all trying to do the flare. We were all trying to do flares, backhand springs.
Before him, or when you guys seen him?
No. When we saw him, so we wanted to incorporate flares into breaking.
Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. I remember that. I remember that clearly.
Yeah, because when I first started seeing breaking, like, everybody called them Thomas flares. No, you didn't say he was just doing flares.
No,
people said,
they were called Thomas flares. That is correct.
Thomas flares.
So he was the first one to do the flares, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the Olympics.
Yeah, in the commercial aspect.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And then everybody else started doing flares. Well, that's a part of the floor exercise. Well, there was the flares on the horse, and then there was the flares on the floor. Now,
he did the Parmahan flares.
Right.
He did it on the horse.
Now, I want you to remember this, and everybody that's watching this is going to be like, oh, shit, if they're around my age or they were there at the time or seen gymnastics back in the old days. So they did flares into handstands and almost into what you call air tracks, the hand tracks that the people are doing now.
Okay.
That is correct. So, back then, I mean, if you look it up, like back in the 70s, the Olympics or the gymnasts or the floor exercises, you'll see it clearly that they would do flares into like handstands and do like with their legs open, like go around in a circle. Standing up. You know what I'm saying? So right there and then, I mean, breaking has its similarities to the gymnasts, other than, of course we added the spins and the leg work and the.
But you want to know what's crazy though too? There was a movie, I think it came out in 1994 called Only the Strong.
Okay.
And it was the dudes that were doing capoeira.
Yes, I seen that. Yeah, capoeira.
They were doing flares. They were doing scissor hops.
Yup.
They were doing
One
handstands.
hand,
And this is a
one hand hops.
yeah.
That's
They
correct.
were doing a lot of the basic breaking foundation. But this dance was already done like in Brazil, like after the slave trade.
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
then again, yeah, those things were done back then, but the breaking, the floor move, like, I mean, the leg work,
hmm
the baby tracks, the top tracks, whatever you want to call it. We used to do top track into like windmills or air track into windmills and stuff like that. So
Right.
we the breaking, the spinning part and the head spins and all that came from us. I mean, we invented all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
So where did you guys get? I'm sorry. Where did the idea come from? All this, though. To be honest, though, like, what was the idea of like Icy Ice doing like the Halo and you guys just doing like combinations? Like Texter would do like windmill to float.
we all had nice combinations, all of us,
Okay.
because we wanted to keep it going. We wanted to keep, we just didn't want to go down and do windmills and then get up and walk away. You know what I'm saying? So we wanted to do
Mhm.
windmills into breaking, into footwork, into like a backflip and shit like that. So,
Mhm.
that's what we always wanted to do, like keep it going where nobody could out top us. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if we had added more moves into one segment, guys would be like, oh shit, yo, I can't do all that.
Right.
Back in the day.
Yeah. That's so true.
So
That's so true.
yeah, and that's a lot of that's today. Like these kids are doing the same thing.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they'll go down and do a power move, and then they'll do footwork, then they'll come back up and do up rock, and then do a flip, and then do like head spins they'll do shit like that, and they're
Mhm.
keeping it going. They're keeping it consistent.
Right. You know what, Tucci? I mean, no, I want to share with you. This was a big controversy on the internet, and I want you to give your opinion on it. Somebody had brought this up, and I've seen the reason why they did it. It was a big way to start division. So
Okay.
basically, they were saying that Puerto Ricans, Latinos are a guest in hip hop, like they
No,
weren't there from the
no.
beginning.
We were there from the beginning, man.
Can you explain
We were
why?
there from day
Okay.
one. Okay, because Latinos, okay, Latinos were the ones who started the spins, who started, okay, hip hop. Like there were certain dancers that will go down and they'll dance on top, and then they'll do like they'll spin around, not just regular spins, like spinning around on the floor,
Right.
and then stand up, stuff like that. But the Latinos, we you know, we started the spins, the leg work, and all of that stuff. And we were always there at the jams, because if we weren't a part of the jams, then it made no sense in the DJs playing, okay, break music or cutting the
Mm.
records up to beats. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because the DJs were playing normal dance music, and then they'll go into that segment where, okay, we're going to give the B-boys now their chance to do their thing and start a circle. And that actually got the DJs more famous, because they would have to stay there and spin the records longer. Because
Mm.
once a circle got started in a jam, let's just say in a park, there was a jam, and the
Mhm.
circle got started, the DJ knew that we were out there dancing.
Mm.
Okay, and back in the time, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, there was a handful of Afro Americans breaking, but the majority was Latinos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the majority was Latinos. Like all the
And what
seven
year is
deadly
this?
sins. I'm gonna say somewhere in the 70s, 76, 77, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Maybe 75, 75, because Bronx boys they say they were rocking, and most of them were Latinos in 75.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seven deadly sins were all Latinos.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, and seven deadly, every single one of them were Latinos.
Okay. So at this
Yeah.
time, the brothers, like, did they have their own crews though too? To be honest with you,
I've never, you know what? It's funny how you're asking that, but I never came across that the brothers
like an all black crew,
there was
Yeah.
I never no never seen an all black crew. Rocksteady
Ooh.
was
Okay.
all most of them were Latinos, other than I believe Frosty Freeze. I'm not sure if he was Latino or not.
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and the only Latinos that I seen, I mean, brothers were Baby Crazy Legs, Kippy, Norm Ski, yeah, and his mother was actually white. Norm Ski.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah. So, I mean, at the time when I was doing it, it was mostly all Latinos.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean,
And you can't
Fast
forget
Break.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D, I think he's Puerto Rican.
Jimmy D is black.
Is he?
No. Yeah, Jimmy D is black. Jimmy Lee is Boricua.
Jimmy Lee. Yeah, Jimmy Lee.
Right.
Right. So,
Because from my understanding, Jimmy D was the president of Rocksteady, and then he passed it on to Crazy Legs, and then he started the Manhattan chapter.
well, yeah. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Jimmy Lee, yeah, they're all from the Bronx, so they all used to. It was predominantly Latinos back in the old days, in all the neighborhoods where I came from. There was a handful of, brothers. You know what I'm saying? Afro-Americans. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say Fast Break, Bebop. They were down with the Floor Masters, and they were our.
Who's Bebop? I never heard that name before.
Bebop was good, man.
Was he?
It's funny how nobody kept in touch with these guys. I don't know where he's at now, but Bebop was introduced. Fast Break. If you could talk to Fast Break, and Flex were the ones who brought Bebop into the Floor Masters.
Ooh.
And Bebop, as a matter of fact, if you look at our old picture, right, the one where Chino's holding up, and I'm doing the chair freeze, and he's holding up the shirt that says Floor Masters, Bebop was in that picture.
Oh, okay.
And Bebop he was good, actually. He had windmills, neck moves, back spins. He was good. Good leg work.
Yeah. So another question. So, I mean, the people are picking up, watching. At that time, did you guys hear of a gentleman by the name of German?
Yes. Well, German came way after, man. He
came after? Okay.
Yeah, he came in Little Alex's era.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of okay. So we did after Beach Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's when Little Alex started to break practice, and he used to invite us to his house. And hold on one second, sir. And somebody's a homeless guy. And then
okay.
No, I didn't, sir. Have a nice day. All right. And
I get that too.
No. And so I was yeah. So Alex, they were practicing him and his brother, and a kid named Cujo. Cujo was good.
Cujo.
And that's correct. And that era was Ness's era also.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Gucci, Gucci,
Never
Kid and
heard of
Gucci.
them.
You never heard of Gucci? Well,
No.
Gucci, yeah, Gucci. After that, after the breakdancing, freestyle came out. You know, the freestyle music, stuff
Yeah.
like that. Okay, um, Gucci was he was rapping on a he did a rap song. They did it was rap kind of rapping, but they did a
Mhm.
freestyle song, and Gucci made it into like the freestyle um music.
Mm.
But it was Gucci, Alex, Cujo, and Alex's little brother, older brother.
Okay.
So they were practicing and dancing, and they wanted to be like us too, you know. So
Mhm.
we used to. One day he invited us to his house, me and Chino, and he wanted his mother to see us. You know what I'm saying? And says, "Hey, like these are the guys that were on TV," you know. So we
Mhm.
went off in his bedroom, like me and Chino, and yeah. And they weren't that good. They were good, but they weren't that good. And then they started to get really good,
Mm.
you know. And then uh, German started. He used to go to Skate Key, and he battled Alex.
Oh. Was
Yeah,
he was he Boricua? German?
yes. German was Boricua. He was a little guy too, like Alex, and he was really
Oh.
good, but not as good as Alex.
Okay.
So it was German. If I'm not mistaken, it was German. There was Ness. There was a few of them. They're all younger guys, you know,
Mhm.
younger kids, and they picked up, and they were battling each other at the
Yeah.
time. Yes, and it was funny because Alex used to be like, "Oh yeah, well I know the New York City Breakers, and I'm gonna bring them to like Skate Key so we could smoke everybody." You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but we never did that anyway. We went to we started hanging out in another uh, roller rink up in Yonkers. Um, it was called Wheels,
Okay.
and that's where Chino started developing. He had really good head spins too, the continuous head spins. So we had these helmets we used to put on, and,
I seen
and
that in the New York City Breakers coloring book
that
or
yeah,
yeah,
I
the
had the
book.
helmet on. I had the helmet on, and I was yeah. So we all started doing head spins, and we all had them real good. All of us, me,
Oh,
Chino.
shoot.
Yeah, we had them good. Like I said, you didn't see nothing, man. I wish it was all the film that we did. Everybody would have saw it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we had head spins, continuous head spins. We were doing them with those helmets.
Mhm.
And it's funny because Orko from California was doing the same thing with a helmet.
They was in love with the helmets though, bro. The helmets was a
Yeah,
big deal.
the helmets was a big deal. Yeah. So yeah, so then yeah, we saw Arco. Arco was insane at the time, but that's when we already started slowing down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So then
okay.
little Alex got down with us. That's when little Alex got down with the because Matthew passed away in a motorcycle accident. So then little Alex got down with us, and like I said, they chose Alex over London because London was like our sixth man. We always had London there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
From my
yeah.
understanding, Oracle said he went out to New York. I think it was around 86 or 87, and he said that nobody could keep up with him with power, though, bro.
Wait, who? Who? London?
He said that nobody could keep up with him with power when he came out to New York, like in 86, 87.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we had. I mean,
He
the
said that
power
he was
moves
like,
was insane.
yeah, but he said when he went out to New York, though, like there was nobody keeping up with his power in New York.
Oh yeah, you mean
Oracle,
Orko? Oh, he
yeah.
was nasty. You know why? Because Orko started. He actually had head spins. He
Mhm.
did the continuous head spins, and the kid was nasty, man. He had everything that we all had. He had all the moves, but he just California actually kept dancing, and we were already stopping dancing.
Mm.
So Orko was the man, bro. He came to New York. He was nasty, bro. He was the best, bro. He was nasty, nasty. So at that time, it's funny because we teamed up. It was me, Chino, Orko, Bucky, and Kuruyaki.
Mm.
Because breaking already, it was already, dying down.
It's already
Guys were getting
dying down.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys were getting jobs. So it was me, Chino, Orko, Bucky, and Kuruyaki. And we used to go upstate and battle and perform in clubs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want to ask you too. During that time, we didn't get to bring his name up, but did you ever come across Oz?
Oh, absolutely. Oz was nasty. The only thing with Oz, he was like a crew jumper. So that's why he never got down with the New York City Breakers.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, he was good.
Really?
He danced with us. He did. He was a part of Dynamic Rockers at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any leg work. All he had was power moves, windmills.
Oh, okay.
Mainly windmills.
Yeah.
That's about it. But Oz was he was nasty back then too.
Yeah. He had the
Yeah.
the munch mills, the baby windmills though, like the real, like the ones that were
Yeah,
real
yeah.
small.
Yeah, the ones that, yeah. He was one of the first guys I saw doing that. And
Yeah.
Oz, he actually we ran into Oz. I forgot where it was. It was somewhere in another state, and we ran into him. And he was like, "Oh man, yo, can I get in with you guys? Like not down with us, but dance with us that day that we were performing." And we was like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay.
But then he actually himself said it that he was down with the Dynamic Rockers.
Mhm. Yeah.
So he was one of those guys like trying to get famous by himself.
Mhm.
He had good motive. He would go out there and perform and do shows by himself. And then he got into that movie, The Pilot.
When I seen that as a kid though, bro, we lost our minds.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. So he did the movie The Pilot, and that was awesome. That was good for him. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah, but for us, like, we got approached by a lot of those people, those producers, and we would turn them down because the money wasn't enough, or we felt that.
What was when you say that the money was enough? Like, what would they offer you back in the '80s though? Like, what would they say? Like $400?
Yeah, like $1,000 or something like that, and it was low budget filming. Like it was like after school. Like The Pilot was like almost like an after school,
It was an after school special.
Yes, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So we didn't get down with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that came out before Beach Street or came after Beach. It must have been after Beach Street.
It was after
But
Beach Street.
Once we did a high level, performances, we weren't going to go back down to, the lower level performances,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, we wasn't gonna. Our manager wouldn't let us do that,
Okay.
even though we
So would you
wanted
say
to.
right? So would you say like during that time the New York City Breakers had at least maybe about a 3-year good run in breaking where you guys were making money doing shows and flying out?
Yeah, I'm gonna say New York City Breakers had about a good 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 82,
Yeah.
83, 84, 85, and a little bit of 86. So a good 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Before, things started to die down. And again, after Matthew died, I mean, shit really died down a lot. Even
For you guys or
Rocksteady.
just for the New York team? Oh, for Rocksteady too?
Yeah, for everybody.
Can
Yeah.
Can you give a little bit more detail on that?
When after Matthew died, we did the presidential inauguration. We might have did 1 or 2 shows after that, and then it'll be like a while, like a couple months before we even did anything else. And it's funny because we decided, me and Chino were like, oh, you know what, we're getting older, so we might as well retire.
18?
About 18, 19 years old, yeah, and we started bodybuilding, and
Okay.
it's funny because we went to Jack LaLanne, and the first person we saw working there was Crazy Legs, and it was funny as heck, you know. And at that time, he seemed really humble. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to, you know, really talk and like say, oh man, it's a shame how shit happened and shit died down. Um, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I mean, even Crazy Legs, he was working out a little bit back then.
Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I mean, yeah, we got to, you know, be friends with Crazy Legs at that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And this is when breaking was kind of like starting to decline. You guys weren't like getting together, practicing no more. Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
What'd you guys do with all the clothes and stuff though? You guys just gave all the Pumas away?
Dude, we had so many friends. You know how like rappers
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
50, you know, friends that say that they're friends, and you know, so we had a lot of friends, and they would ask to borrow stuff, and we would let them use it, and we would never get it back. And at the time, we didn't care. You know what I'm saying? To us, it was like, you know, it's just a shirt, you know.
Just a shirt, yeah. Yeah.
You know, and that's what happened with it, most of the stuff. And it's funny because I told you on our last interview, one of my friends called me and says, hey man, I still got your New York City Breaker jacket. And I was like, yo, I want that shit back. It's funny, you know. It's funny, like, yo, an embroidered original New York City. Like, I would like to put this thing in a frame,
Yeah.
like
Right.
a double glass frame. You know what I'm saying? Because it says "Kid Nice" in the front, and on the
Right.
back it's embroidered. You know, embroidery. New York City Breakers, really nice. It was one of our original first Lee jackets we used to rock.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you, Kid Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go back a little bit. So you guys got the big name change, you got the Kangos, you got the sheepskin, you guys got the fresh Adidas, and you guys are walking maybe around through the Bronx, and then there's like the stick up kids though, right? Was there still stick up kids in the Bronx?
Stick up kids were there from the beginning of breaking.
Right. Did they affect you guys because of the way that you guys are representing, like just having all these clothes all the time, being in the Bronx?
No. Actually, it's funny because the stick up kids were like protecting us. They were like, yo, we know these guys, man. They better not mess with you. Anybody mess with you, you know, they had our backs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was funny because, yeah, Will Ski was one of the main stick-up kids, and he was an original Seven Deadly Sin.
Okay.
Yeah.
From what I was told, I mean, not from what I was told, but on the Freshest Kid, it said that when Mr. Freeze would walk around through the Bronx, though, like, people wouldn't even touch him because they was like, yo, that's Mr. Freeze from Rock City Crew, like, he's cool.
Yeah, he was the only white boy that was a breaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the only white boy nobody wanted to touch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Mr. Freeze was all, bro, he was a good friend to us. He never had any, you know, like, he was just a very nice guy. Learned how to break. He was awesome. We used to actually look up to Mr. Freeze, you know?
Hey, somebody said that I still have your B Street jacket. Send me your address. I'm going to send it to you.
I don't remember having a Beach Street jacket, though. I'm talking, I saw that. I'm talking about, I'm talking about my original Lee jacket.
Original Lee jacket.
Yeah. We didn't have Beach Street jackets that said our name, that had our names on them. So,
right.
But you know, I mean, sure, there was Beach Street jackets, but nothing with our names, New York City Breakers, or any of our individual names.
Mm-hmm. So also too, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, that's awesome that somebody's saying that they still have my jacket, but I
Right.
thought it was my Lee jacket. I was ready to say, hell yeah, I was going to text them back.
Okay.
But I know who has it. It's a good friend of mine.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Pedro Presto, DJ Presto, and he lives here in Kissimmee, and you know, he's a
You
good
said it's
guy.
Presto. You said that this guy's name is Presto. You know him?
Yeah, Presto. I know Presto. Presto
Okay.
is yeah, Pedro.
Okay.
Oh, so this guy is saying that the jacket says Kit Nice on it. That's awesome. I'd love to get in touch with you and send me a picture. Send me a picture.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook. Kit Nice, New York City Breakers.
Cool.
Oh, it is Presto. That is Presto. That's my man right there. See? Okay. I'm sorry, DJ Presto. It's funny. Presto was a good breaker too. He was
Oh,
down.
was he?
He was second generation New York City Breakers. He represented big
Wow.
time. Oh man, we had some awesome good times. Let me turn the light on so you guys can see
Yeah.
me. Can you see me now?
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry, man. It got dark out here. I'm in my van because my wife was working. So,
Okay.
so the funny thing is that Presto, he was a part of us. Him, London, he was second generation, and he had awesome windmills too. He was good, Presto. He used to hang out with us. He would be with us everywhere. And then we were dancing. We would go to Ronnie Dangerfield, the club. It's funny. And we all used to go off. You know what I'm saying? But that was after breaking stopped, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to actually too, because we brought it up in the other interview. But when the first time I seen B Street though, right? So I'm seeing Lee when it was like, Lee, come on stage, and like he's all hit it. So the DJ starts doing the top rock, and when he jumped back and they did the 1990, and he spun like a half a round, like to us, we were just like, yo, that was so insane though. But come to find out, Crazy Legs had brought it up. He said that was a gentleman by the name of Tiny from New Jersey.
That is correct. No, it was Tiny from New York, from Manhattan. He was down with the Incredible Breakers.
Was he black?
No, he was a dark-skinned Dominican kid.
There we go.
Yes, he was awesome. He was a very nice kid, very nice guy back then. He actually there was a scene. We were there because there's a picture of me and Glidemaster. We were there when he did that. So he was the stunt double for Lee.
Yeah.
He was, and we were there, and that at that time he was down with the Incredible Breakers.
Wow.
That is correct, and he used to live in Manhattan because we went to his house and we was hanging out with Tiny. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
So,
yeah.
He was a short kid. He was short. He was little like Alex,
So
and he was very good.
So when Lee went down and he did the shuffles, was that him or was that Tiny?
No, Lee did the shuffles, and then Tiny did the backhand spring into the 1990.
But what about the windmills?
Tiny.
That was Tiny again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Tiny.
And then when Lee did the backspin and then he went into the bridge and it was like cut.
That was Lee.
That
was Lee.
That was Lee. Okay.
Yeah, so they kind of like went back and forth.
Yeah. But in your eyes though, like what did you think about his level of breaking though? Was it okay, or was it just kind of like just good enough for the movie?
He was good. He was good. He was good enough. He was very good actually.
Okay.
And like I said, he was down with Chino and Brian and them with so they were all good because it was him, Float, Chino, Brian. There was a few of them. They were all good, every single one of them. And again, you know, Tiny, he was like a sort of like Alex. He came
Mhm.
after the fact because when the Floor Masters, when everybody went their way in the Floor Masters, Chino and Brian moved away into Manhattan. They started
Mhm.
the Incredible Breakers,
Oh.
and yes, and then Tiny was a part of them.
Oh. Bro, you just put together a puzzle I've never heard before. A piece of the puzzle I've never heard in my entire life.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I was there. I know, man, and you know, at the time, and you know, and it's funny because he was a humble kid too, Tiny. He was good. He was good, and he looked up to us, the New York City Breakers. He looked up
Mm.
like everybody else. He looked up to us. He said all his moves he got them from us.
Mhm. So who designed the logo from the New York City Breaker? Was it Phase Two?
It was a combination. Chino, Phase Two. They took a picture.
Or Pex?
They basically took a picture like Pex. That was Pex in the picture, and
Yeah.
they put New York City Breakers, and then they put the picture of Pex doing his backspin in the center.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a combination. We all agreed on it. You know, it was you know, Michael Holman and Phase Two, and you know,
Yeah.
Chino. Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Because after you guys came out, I'm telling you, with those suits, everybody started doing it though, bro. Like there was people in Madrid, there was people in Madrid, there was people in China, there was people in Hawaii. There's a crew called the ABC Breakers. You can watch it on YouTube. They're all wearing the white spandex suits.
Yep. Everybody started wearing those suits, and it's funny because those suits, it was mine and Chino's idea again, and we went out to California, and we, you know, the bicycle place we went to, and we got
Mhm.
the suits. They were Hind running suits. They were called Hind,
Okay.
you know.
Mhm.
Um, and we decided that we wanted to try those suits because they made us look better, neater, and faster.
Yeah.
And it actually did. It actually, the suits did. They were light. They weren't heavy. You know, it was like you almost basically dancing naked. You know,
They seem like it. Like
it's
people were
true.
laughing though, bro. When the guys started putting them on, everybody was like, "Bro, you can see
You
everything."
can see the package to everything. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, yeah, I mean, the suits made a big, you know, impact in dancing and breaking. You know,
Yeah, it did.
it did. It did.
Mhm.
And you know, it went from the original Lee pants. We used to wear Lee pants back in the
Yeah.
day when we used to rock on the concrete. Okay, we used to wear Lees. Okay, the bell bottom Lees. Okay, back in the days,
Mhm.
70s bell bottoms. You know, disco. We used to wear those. The Lee jackets back in
And
the
what about the
day.
British
The
Walkers,
British Walkers and the Playboys.
the Playboys? What is
That's
the
right.
Playboys?
Oh man, they were leather shoes, and they had it looked like a bumper car on your feet. It had these big
Oh,
rubber a sole. It was rubber all the way around. If you look it up, you'll see. And it had a Playboy rabbit stamped on the side of it.
mm.
They were dope.
Yeah. You know what? Since we're talking about the Playboy, why did the Playboy logo become like it's like synonymous with breaking though, bro. Like just the Playboy bunny. Like anytime you see somebody that would say Kid Nice and it would have the Playboy. Why was that? Why was the Playboy bunny was like? Because us on the West Coast, we did the same thing.
Okay, that's because if I'm not mistaken, and a lot of people are going to quote me on this, is back in the day when stick up kids, you know, stick up kids, b-boys, we were playboys. They used to call us
Mm.
playboys. So if you had that logo on, you were a playboy. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yep,
Mm.
yeah. Back in the day, you know, it was a fashion. It was a fashion
And
statement, you
and
know?
And from your point of view, what was the purpose? Not the purpose, but where did the idea come with the old English letters?
Oh shit, man! You know, everybody wanted to be like almost like the Roman days. You know, have the
The
Roman
Roman days?
letters. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Roman letters, the old English letters. You know, if you had that, that said a lot about your crew too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
bro. The old
saying?
English was everything. If you came together and everybody had old English sweaters, it was like that's a serious crew.
Yep. Somebody saying, where is Normski? Okay, yeah, Normski. Yeah, he was part of Rocksteady, but Normski back in the day, he was another, not to cut us off with the old English letters and we're talking about
Okay.
fashion, but I wanted to answer that for this guy.
Okay.
Normski moved to London.
Oh.
Yeah. Normski, he was, if I'm not mistaken, he became a model after the breaking and the popping, because he was awesome, Normski.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a brother too that was awesome too. His brother was insane, popper, but of course Normski was the man. You know, he was part of Rocksteady, and then kind of in a way, and Normski. It's funny because we used to love watching Normski. And he would battle against Mr. Wiggles and Fable. Then they were all down together. Then, you know, Normski was in Beach Street also. Anyways, he moved to London. Yes.
What part?
He was in the movie. I think they must have edited him out, but I remember he was there. And Muhammad got most of the fame. Muhammad from Magnificent Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't see no part with Normski. I seen him on Graffiti Rock, but I didn't see him in Beach Street.
He wasn't. He was there. He was in there was some parts that they did film him, but he didn't make it. I guess they didn't have like a segment for him in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
okay.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, but he was there. He was there. Normski, his mother, because he was young. He was a young kid. So his mother had to be with him. But it's funny, though, because we ran into Normski in London. We used to run into him. Bro, I used to run into people in London and Paris, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be out there visiting. So he moved out there to London. That's what he did. Him and Muhammad.
Okay.
Muhammad moved out there too. They said it was cheaper to live.
I think a picture of Normski. I think it was last year. He was at the Hip Hop Museum.
Yes, and actually, Normski. I forgot what we did. Was it That's Incredible? Not That's Incredible. Oh my God, Two in the Town, the show.
Mhm.
But Normski was dancing with us out there in Central Park.
Oh, okay.
It's in YouTube. You'll see it. New York City Breakers. We had the blue Adidas suits on. We didn't have the tights on. We had the regular Adidas suits on at the time. It was hot as hell. Oh man, that linoleum was freaking, bro, in the hot summertime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You had the hat.
Sticky.
You put on the hat and you start doing the windmill with the hat.
Yep. So we just had the Adidas suits on that at the time. What was it? Was it I forgot. It wasn't That's Incredible. It was
like, I forgot the name of the show.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Okay.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. So they had us out there in Central Park, and Normski was down with New York City Breakers.
What?
Yeah.
Yo, let me ask you a question real quick. This is
you
crazy.
gotta look that up, man.
Yeah. I've seen the footage though, but I want to ask you because I want to go into like I want to do another half of this video, but I want to know how much time you have.
Oh, I got time.
Okay. So Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna stop this so we can have a part two. Just
Okay.
give me like 3 minutes, and then like watch me jump back on, and then let's continue again.
You got it, man. I'll be here.
Because we're already at an hour and a half. But I just want to make sure that Instagram don't give me no issues, like if it goes 2 hours or longer.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So give me about like 3 minutes.
Yep. I'll be here. Tune in, everybody who's watching this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Peace.
Peace.